Okay, so in this video I'm going to be painting and upcycling this old suitcase that my mum gave me. It's kind of a leather effect and it's got these metal hinges on the front and hardware, is it called? Anyway, inside it's quite a mess, as you can see. I think my mum used it to store like nail varnishes and things, and they basically exploded. So the first thing you want to do with any piece is completely clean it, give it a really good clean. That's really important because then the paint goes on better, everything just sticks to it a lot better. Okay, so I've done that. So now I'm going to go in with the paint, and I'm using this Rustoleum paint in chalk white. So I'm going to just basically coat this all over the entire case, the hinges everywhere. On the metal hinges, it's really important to just give that like a really light brush because you don't want the paint to build up on the hinges. And it's the same for inside the case. So I'm doing the outside first, but when I lift it up, I will wait for the outside to fully dry first, and then I'll open it up and then do a light brush around the inside and on the tops.
Lost under the clouds, only grey skies. I know they always say this never happens, but it happened. I know it's what they say, but it did. I know they always say this never happens, but it happened. I know it's what they say, but it did. I hope that you will stay forever. I hope that you will stay forever.
The reason I use the Rustoleum Chalk Paint is because I find it is the best brand. It's sort of like the thickest chalk paint that I've found, well, in the UK, that's easy to access, and so you don't need as many coats, so it works out a lot better and cheaper. Okay, so now I'm just doing the same on the inside. What I did on the outside, just putting down a first coat all over. You may notice that I'm just using, well, not the best paintbrushes for the job, but I am hoping to get some good ones soon. So these are just cheap ones that I think I picked up from B&M or The Range, something like that, for like $3.99 for a pack of 5. Now the first coat's all dry, so I'm just going to go in with a second coat. I found that this suitcase actually needed, I think, 3 coats in the end, because of the leather, or the fake leather, it just quite seemed to quite absorb the paint. So now this is my favourite part when I start to decoupage. So I'm going to go in with these. This is actually like a pack of tissue papers. So the first thing you want to do is you want to take off the back layer of the ply. You know, they usually are like 3 ply, and you want to take off, or 2 or 3 ply. You want to take off the backing off of them, and it's quite easy to do. You know, once you've got the hang of it, you've gripped it, you can then just pull it back like so. Then I'm just going to line it up and see exactly where I want to lay down my first piece. Then all we need to stick it down is just some PVA glue that you could get from even the pound shop, B&M, anywhere like that, just really cheap. And then you just want to coat that all over so we don't miss anywhere before we lay down our paper.
I know they always say this never happens,
Now, when you stick down the paper, it's important to remember that a lot of the time, I mean, this paper is really thin, whether it's tissue paper or actual decoupage paper, it's really thin and it's gonna be hard not to crease or crumple. But don't worry about that because it actually adds to the effect. I think it looks even better. It makes it look a little bit more older and, you know, I just think it looks really cool, so don't worry about that. You'll see what I mean when it all comes together at the end.
Lost under the clouds, only gray skies. I know they always say this never happens, but it happens.
So I'm just cutting around the edges the best I can, as neat as I can, and then just laying that down. It's okay if you have any like little bits come away, or you know, you take too much off, because you can just go around that at the end and just patch that up with the excess bits of tissue paper that you've got left. Once the paper's down, I'll always go over it with a layer of the PVA glue just to give it like a bit of a top coat. Now, as you can see here, I've actually tore a piece in the middle, so I'll just go over that at the end and patch it up like I said. Now we're just going to go in with our next piece, level that up the best that you can, and then glue that down. I really love the design of this picture, how retro it looks, and it only cost me I think like $1.99 from a supermarket, and I actually did the same with this hook rack that I've got. So I actually changed my mind about the colour and I went in with Rustoleum Chalk in teal and basically just did my third coat with that all over, which it only took one coat of this paint. Now I'm just going to go over all the paper and patch up any like missing bits or torn pieces best I can to make it look like, well, basically like it's supposed to be there, which is pretty easy to do with paper, especially when you've got like a plain background like this. For this, I didn't actually patch up all of it, as I liked that it looked sort of slightly worn around the edges. And finally, I'm just going to give it a coat everywhere with this clear finishing wax by Rustoleum. I've never actually done this on a piece of furniture before that wasn't wooden, but this is like one of the few pieces that I have done that isn't a wooden piece of furniture. So, but it works to stop to make it sort of water resistant and things like that. So I don't see why it wouldn't work on this. So yeah, I give it a good coat everywhere. And bearing in mind that the clear wax can take a few weeks to fully cure. After you finish waxing, you just want to wipe it all over, wipe it down with like a dry cloth or old t-shirt just to wipe off any excess wax. And there we go. So we've completely transformed this old ugly case into this really cool retro suitcase that we can now use as maybe storage for something around the house. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, because I'm going to be uploading more and quite often. usually furniture pieces. Yep, so thank you. Bye.